Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Mar-A-Lago where a person was fatally shot after breaking onto the compound. NBC's Garrett Hake has more.
An FBI investigation is underway this morning after law enforcement agents shot and killed a man on the grounds of President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home early Sunday. The Palm Beach County Sheriff telling reporters a man breached the property's perimeter around 1:30 a.m. Sunday, carrying what appeared to be a gas can and a shotgun. The sheriff says 2 Secret Service agents and a sheriff's deputy that responded.
He was ordered to drop those 2 pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the 2 Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat.
2 law enforcement sources identified the suspect to NBC News as 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin, who was reported missing by his family on Facebook earlier that day. This drone video shows his home in Cameron, North Carolina. His cousin, speaking to the AP, saying that the family are Trump supporters, but that Martin was, quote, quiet, never really talked about anything. There have been multiple previous threats against President Trump, including the assassination attempt in Butler in Pennsylvania in 2024 and another at Trump's Florida golf course in 2024. A man with a rifle arrested while the president was playing. Of this most recent intruder, officials say the encounter with Martin happened near the gate of Mar-a-Lago, inside the property, though stressing that the president was in Washington, having hosted Republican governors at the White House the night before. The FBI asking for the public's help as the investigation continues.
If you live in the area of the shooting, please check your exterior cameras. If you see anything that looks suspicious or out of place, please contact us.
And again, that was Garrett Hake reporting. We now want to turn our attention to a vehicle fire that happened this past Friday that left a home with quite a bit of damage. Here you're seeing some of that damage on your screen. Friday, just after 9 p.m., Greenville Fire and Rescue Engine 5 went to the area of Seagrave Drive and Davenport Farm Road. Now, the Red Oak Community Rural Fire Department, as well as more units, responded when the call was upgraded. Firefighters used a nearby hydrant for water supply, and crews remained on scene for about an hour. And now for your weather forecast. We continue again to monitor the massive nor'easter that is creating blizzard conditions across all 5 boroughs of New York City. It has been a day of snow for New England, pretty much stretching from the northern portion of the Chesapeake Bay around the Delmarva Peninsula all the way up towards Maine and into Canada. This is a massive system that is producing significant snowfall across the New England area. In fact, we've seen record snowfall set in Providence, Rhode Island so far, and more snow is on the way. It is not done yet. So zooming it in on some of the totals that we've seen so far with this system. Again, over 32 inches of snow in Providence. That is a ton, almost 2 feet in Toms River, New Jersey, 14.5 inches in Atlantic City, New York. Right now, just under 20 inches of snow. But, you know, we're kind of taking readings before the event is even done. So snowfall totals will surpass the numbers you're seeing on your screen. Just want to give you guys an update of what we have seen so far with that massive system. I know there's probably more than a few of you with friends and family up in that area. They are getting quite the snow system today, and it will linger into tomorrow as well. At least the snow certainly will. Could end up seeing a few more flakes come down later on this week. Now, for eastern North Carolina's weather, quite a bit calmer. We do have, again, strong winds that right now are blowing in at around 10 to 20 miles an hour out of the northwest, sustained with gusts reaching upwards around 25 to 35 miles an hour. But those winds are gradually going to relax over the next several hours. Currently looking at the mid-40s right now in New Bern, but it feels like the mid-30s because of those winds. 17-mile-an-hour wind out of the northwest is making 44 feel more like 36. And air temperatures right now sitting in the low to mid-40s. Normal this time of year is right around the 60-degree mark, so we're about 15 degrees shy of our seasonal average. A lot of that has to do with the winds out of the northwest. Those are bringing in colder conditions, colder air into the east, and doing so at a fairly healthy clip. 10 to 20 mile an hour sustained winds come with gusts again between 25 to nearly 35 miles an hour. We did have a 37 mile per hour reading at last checked in Elizabeth City. Now looks like our strongest gust that's currently being reported is in Piney Island at 31 miles per hour. Let's take a look at what we've got coming up for this afternoon, and it's more of the same, albeit with a little bit more cloud cover. Starting to see those clouds slowly filter overhead. That'll be a process that continues as we head towards 3, 4, and 5 p.m. And overnight tonight, it is going to be straight up cloudy throughout eastern North Carolina. A lot of those clouds will depart once we get past midnight tonight, and that will leave us with overnight air temperatures dropping down into the upper 20s to low 30s. By the time most of us wake up, we are going to be seeing some freezing conditions outside, but we'll rise above freezing between around 9 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Plenty of sunshine, will go a long way in trying to warm us up. The problem is that cold flow of air out of the west-northwest, it's going to be sticking around. It's not going anywhere. So even as we see plentiful sunshine, those winds are going to be bringing in cold conditions, and that will keep our air temperatures capped in the mid-40s. Here's what we've got big picture-wise across the U.S. That area of high pressure will do a pretty good job of keeping us sunny coming up for tomorrow. Then it's going to fade as we head into the tail end of your Tuesday and Wednesday, bringing cloud cover back to the east as we head through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. Let's take a look at your full 8-day forecast. You'll note that that first cold front you're seeing back towards the mountains on Wednesday could bring a little bit of some rain to the east Wednesday at times, but I think most of those drops will hold off until we get to Thursday and Friday. Friday, the Pirates are going to be taking on Rutgers, the Scarlet Knights, at Clark LeClaire. Then we've got 2 more games coming up on Saturday and Sunday, not against Rutgers. I believe one of them is against, I think, Western North Carolina. I could be wrong there. I'll have to check the schedule. But again, 2 more games Saturday, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. Should make for some pretty nice baseball by the time we get to Sunday afternoon, with air temperatures climbing into the upper 60s versus the mid-50s on Friday. Well, that's all we have time for today's 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Monday.